Okay, here is the dividend discount model, the DDM spreadsheet. I've changed a couple things. I've given you the choice of C or H. So we have the constant growth model or the H model, and here I've done data validation, and I've told I want to have a whole number. I want it to be between 1 and 10. So in this case, somebody comes in, they try to put in 11, it won't allow it. And if they try to put in 4.5, they won't allow it. It has to be a whole number, like a 5 or a 6, something like that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I want to get rid of these dividends. I want to go back to think about how to get the right growth rate in here. So I need to have this AND function we've done before, and this is equal to H, comma, and this is less than or equal to the number of years, and that's a true statement. Of course, I need to have those locked down because I'm going to copy those across. F4. I hit the wrong thing. Let's then B5. F4. And now I want to have, of course, if we're doing this like we did before between constant growth and non-constant growth, kind of the same thought process here. If I have the H model and it's less than or equal to the number of years, then I want to go pick the short term, F4, comma, pick the long term, F4, close parenthesis, copy this across. And see how I go from 20 to 5? The H model says, look, we're not going to drop off a cliff and go from 20 to 5. We're going to go down from 20 to 5% over 10 years. So this is going to go 20 to 17 to 14 to 11 to 8 to 5. So how can I make it do this? Well, I need to get rid of this choice. So if it's not true that both these conditions hold, it's H and less than 5 years, I just want to say, what if it's just the H model? So just this, lock it down, is equal to H. If that's true, then I want to do this thing where I do the time step down, and I'm going to just put in the, not time step, but just the step down right now, which would be the 20% minus the 5%, close parenthesis, divided by the 5 years. And if it's not the H model, then I'm just going to stick with the long-term G. So let me lock this down. F4, 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 F4. So now let me copy this over. If I copy this over, I go from 20%, I drop off a cliff to 3%. And just to double check, if I have the constant growth, I'm 5% all the time. So what I need to do is I don't need to drop off this cliff. So what do I want to do? I want to have right here, this is not just 3%. I want to have it, in this case, 20 minus 3%. So when at this point, I want to have 20 minus 3%. Let's see if I can get it to work right here. I could reference this 0.2, but I'm going to later change this to a dividend, so that's not going to work. So I need to go back and reference this, lock it down, minus that, and that goes to 17. I copy this all the way over. They're all at 17. Why are they all at 17? Because it's just saying go down from 20 minus 3. So really what I need to do is I need to go down 20 minus 3 how many times? So what I need to do is say in year 6, and F4, hit the wrong button, F4 times, and again hit the wrong button, okay, I want to make that a star, and I accidentally hit the brightness on this thing instead of F4 because of the way my laptop is structured. Okay, so this is going down to 17, and what it's doing is saying, look, this is one step down. So J1, which is 6, minus the number of years, 5, means I go down one step. When I copy this over, at this point I'm going down 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, but I keep going down and it makes it go negative. Well, that's not going to work. I don't need that. Let me get the brightness back. So what I need to do is have, because this could go negative or go below my 5, at this point I want to type max, and it's difficult to make sure you're having the parentheses right. Max of this, come over here, comma, the long-term growth rate, close the parenthesis, make sure we have this, function F4 for me on my laptop. Now let me copy this over and see what we have. This works. I need to remember to copy it back to here as well. So what it's doing is going from 20 to 14 to 11 to 8 to 5, but it's also checking, and see what it's doing right here. It's saying 01 is 11, so it's saying the max of B2, which is 20, minus 01 minus B5, so this is 6 times 3, so 20 minus 6 times 3. I don't want that. That's too low. That would be 0.02. So I take the bigger one, which is the 0.05. Okay, so now at this point, I have the growth rates correct. I just need to have the dividends in here right. So D1 is equal to D0 times 1 plus the growth rate. D2 is equal to D1 times, open parenthesis, 1 plus the growth rate. And let me copy that all the way across. And I already have the right equation in there. And this is it. That is your H model. That's all there is to it. So make sure you can do that. The non-constant growth model or the constant growth model or the H model choice, whichever one, no more than 10 minutes.